The house across the street wasn't empty. I moved into my new neighborhood 3 months ago. It was quiet, almost too quiet, but after the chaos of a breakup and leaving my old life behind, quiet was exactly what I needed. The houses all looked the same: neat lawns, trimmed hedges, polite neighbors who waved but never lingered. All except for the house directly across from me. That house looked wrong. The blinds were always closed. The grass grew in uneven patches, weeds sprouting tall and wild. Paint flaked from the shutters in curling strips. My landlord told me it was abandoned. No one had lived there in decades, but it didn't feel abandoned. The first time I noticed something, I was sitting on my porch late at night, beer in hand, when a light flickered behind one of the upstairs windows. Not steady, like a bulb, but pulsing, like someone was walking with a lantern. I stared for nearly an hour before the light finally died. The next night, it happened again, and the next. I asked around. Most neighbors shrugged, pretended not to know what I meant, or quickly changed the subject. But one old man down the street, Mr. Wallace, looked at me like I had said something dangerous. "You live opposite the Jennings place?" he asked. When I nodded, he leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Don't look too long. They don't like being watched." That night I kept my curtains closed, but curiosity has a way of eating at you. By the end of the week I was standing at my window again, unable to resist. That's when I saw it. A shadow, tall, impossibly thin, moving slowly across the second floor. My phone buzzed in my hand. A text from an unknown number. "We see you watching." I froze, my stomach turning to stone. The next morning, I found a folded piece of paper on my porch. In neat handwriting it read, "Keep your eyes to yourself." I tried to brush it off. A prank, I told myself. Maybe some neighborhood kids who had noticed me staring. But the handwriting was so precise, so deliberate, that it didn't feel like a joke. That night, I avoided looking outside. I turned every light on, sat on the couch, forced myself to watch TV. But around 1 a.m., my phone buzzed again. "Come over." I didn't reply. I sat perfectly still, my skin crawling. The following morning, another note waited for me on the porch. Rude not to answer. By now the fear had turned into something else, an obsession. I needed to know who was inside that house. So one afternoon, I walked across the street. Up close, the house looked worse than I'd imagined. Vines crawled up the siding, the steps sagged, boards were rotting. But the front door stopped me cold. It wasn't old at all. It was brand new. Black paint gleaming, the handle polished. And there were marks in the wood. Deep scratches gouged into the frame, like something had clawed at it. I was about to turn away when I heard it. Knocking. 3 slow knocks, from inside the house. Then a voice, muffled but clear. "Come in." I ran back across the street without looking back. The next day, I told Mr. Wallace everything. The lights, the texts, the notes, the voice. He went pale. "You shouldn't have gone over there," he said. When I pressed him, he finally told me the story. Decades ago, the Jennings family lived in that house. Husband, wife, 2 daughters. One night they vanished. The police found the front door locked, dinner still on the table. The only strange thing? Every mirror in the house was shattered. "They're still there," Wallace whispered. "Not alive, not dead, just waiting." I thought he was crazy, until that night. I pulled back my curtain at midnight and saw them. 4 figures, standing in the yard of the Jennings house, perfectly still, facing my window. I couldn't take it anymore. Obsession outweighed fear. At midnight I crossed the street again. The door opened at my touch. The air inside was damp, heavy. Family photos still hung on the walls, smiling faces frozen in time. But in every single photo, the eyes were scratched out. I climbed the stairs, heart hammering. The master bedroom door stood ajar. Inside, I found a mirror propped against the wall. Unlike the others, it wasn't shattered. It was whole. And in it, I saw the family. Behind me, the father, tall and gaunt, face hollow. The mother, lips stretched too wide into a grin. The daughters, pale and still, clutching each other's hands. I spun around. The room was empty. I turned back to the mirror. They were closer. I don't remember leaving. I woke up on my couch the next morning, shoes muddy, flashlight still clutched in my hand. But my phone buzzed. A new message, from Jennings. "Nice to meet you. See you tonight." I packed immediately. I'm writing this from a motel 3 towns over. I thought I'd escaped, until last night. Another message lit up my phone. "Look outside." I pulled back the curtain, and in the parking lot, beneath the orange glow of the lamps, 4 figures stood perfectly still, staring up at me.